Hello, how are you? We're going to speak with Ride Freely or Freely Electrics. Hello, Andrew. Good afternoon. We are going to wait until Adam, the founder, gets in the live stream. Welcome back. Hello, Bruma Hostel. We are ready. Let's go. Let's go. Hello. How are you? We're going to speak with Ride Freely or Freely Electrics. Hello, Andrew. Good afternoon. We are going to wait until Adam, the founder, gets in the live stream. Welcome back. Hello, Bruma Hostel. We are ready. Let's go.
Facundo,
Hi, Aram. How
hey,
are you?
doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Also here, for the ones who doesn't know, I'm from Argentina. Here it's 8 o'clock in already night. So and ending the day. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. And Freely is based here in Houston, Texas. So we're ending the day a little earlier than you, but onward we go.
Awesome. What
Yeah,
time is it there?
it's 5 o'clock on the dot. So
Oh,
welcome to
awesome.
everybody who's wrapping up work and getting ready to enjoy their evening. So.
Perfect. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Mm. Sure. Yeah. So my name's Adam Yates. I'm the founder and owner of Freely Electric Mobility. Um, yeah. So we built this company based off of some core values, if you will. One of them selling to a diverse community, big and small, different colors, domestic and abroad. Um, we also built the company based off education, right? To educating the market. Sometimes that means a Freely scooter is not the one for the customer, right? And then the final one is just influencing the micro mobility market, such as you guys are. So
Great. So, you're you're the founder. How does the business came to your mind and develop?
yeah, so I'll go back to the beginning. I bought a scooter, right? Actually,
Oh,
before that, I rode a scooter, right? So I rode a rental scooter. I think the Bird Lime Spin in these groups have really
the sharing
created.
scooters.
That's right. That's right. They've really created a tsunami. I think the United States market is a little bit behind. I think the European and outward markets have, and Latin America all the way through, have really been ahead of the game. But yeah, how I started, I rode one of those scooters and I said, I want one for myself. So I bought one and I got some heads to turn in my community. And that led to buying 5, 10, 25, 100, right? And here we are today. I think beyond that, I'm a big believer in micromobility. I have some experience there, and I think that it's a small part of the ride, but I do think micromobility is certainly part of the journey. So yeah, so I started in November 2019, and so it's been about a year
Oh,
later.
very, very
Yep,
close.
yep, pretty close. We really started ramping up in March. We've seen a steady increase in sales and just great reviews, and we really care about our customers. I'd love to share that a little bit more later on, but we love our customers, they love us, and we have lots of folks riding freely, if you will. So
Awesome, awesome.
yeah.
So you, the business got, I assume the business got affected by all this COVID-19 thing, uh, pandemic.
Mhm.
So how do you challenge this worldwide uh, travel?
Yeah. It's a good point. I think some companies have done well throughout COVID. Others, it's all over the news, right? Have not done so well, and there's lots of thoughts out there for them. I think because we're kind of new, the impact wasn't as strong. In fact, we saw a little bit of a snapback in terms of um, quarantining, right? What better way to get outside and move around? Some of our riders didn't want to take a public transit bus anymore because it's too crowded.
Yeah,
They relied on maybe an Uber or a Lyft or some other rideshare service, and getting right next to people, it wasn't the thing, right? So we saw some purchases based off that to say, hey, we want to ride a smaller, more dynamic vehicle that we can socially distance. So we've weathered well, and I think people have responded to it. So
great, great.
yeah,
So now the business is doing great, is making improvements. You are thinking about something new for the future? Is there something is something else cooking in the oven just to for 2021 next year?
yeah. Yeah, I like that question. I think long range, like there are some plans going on. I don't think we're ready to share yet, but there's some exciting plans around the digital space. However, where we're at now is selling one scooter 10,000 times, right? I think FedEx or
Right.
UPS said this, but just delivering a scooter and offering a really great hardware unit that people can ride, doing that over and over again. And I think we're going to really learn what the market is telling us. We've heard some signals, right? Like, hey, do you
Yeah.
guys offer a longer range scooter? Great feedback. How about a faster scooter, something more durable, or even an e-bike or one wheels, right? So we're listening. There's value, right? Again, in sort of exactly where we're at now, which is trying to sell one product and try to do as best as possible as we can do selling that one product. So
Perfect.
yeah, so we'll see where it takes us.
This product is called Freely Pro.
Mhm.
There's some technical specifications you want to tell us, the range, the speed. Just let us know what is the Freely Pro, what it offers to the consumer, and how people could get it, if it is online, if it is in a store.
Great. Yep. Yep. So we offer the Freely Pro. Everyone always wants to know sort of how fast and long. So I'll start with that. It's a very mid-range scooter, but has a really high quality. So it goes about
Great.
15 miles per hour. Sorry, I can't translate that into kilometers right away, but
No
um,
problem.
yeah, and then it also goes about 12 to 15 miles distance range, depending on hills, weight, and such.
Yeah.
I think the really creative part about this scooter is that it has a removable battery, right? So
Yeah.
this is the actual battery that you can take in and out. And what I like about that is for on Freely, to answer your question where you get it from, our website's ridefreely.com, and we ship anywhere in the US and Canada for free, but we also ship internationally. Um, what's great about that is you can also buy an additional battery, right, for 69
Great.
bucks, and you can double your mileage. Of course, you'd have to keep it with you. I think the other thing is, um, it's hard to travel with these on an airplane, right? So you could essentially
Yeah,
mail this, and some airlines
but
allow you to.
it's also travel to travel with the scooter itself. So uh, that is not quite a bigger problem. So I think someone goes to work and brings a briefcase or a backpack, and they know that they are going to do something else at the end of the day of the work day. So they took one of the removable batteries and they get more range to get the places they want. So that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's to your point, it's really great. The price point for a scooter that goes over 30 miles is pretty high, right?
Yeah,
One of our selling points is that the Freely Pro is $399 US. So
yeah.
plus
That's
69
included?
includes the one battery, and then you can buy an additional one for 69 bucks. So basically under $500, and now you have a scooter that can go 30 miles. So
Great.
we really hope that that's the niche and that communicates well in the market. Of course, we know there's some longer range, faster scooters, and when we get asked about those, we like to point them into the right direction. But yeah, so that's a little about the Freely Pro. It's really high quality. It's got 10-inch tires, so it's going to do really well in weather.
Yeah, great.
Um,
It is waterproof?
it is, particularly because the battery is inside of the stem, right?
It's behind the display.
That's right. Yeah, let's just shop. Welcome to the COVID office here, but
Perfect.
it's going to sit right here, right,
Oh, great.
inside of the tube. So it's pretty unique in that sense. Yeah.
We got a great question down there, and it says how long it takes to each battery to be fully charged.
Yep. Good question. So we've done a lot of testing. We've got it narrowed down to about 2.5 to 3 hours for a full charge.
Okay.
Good question.
And how does the extra battery charge? You have to put it in the scooter. You have an extra adapter to charge it.
Yep. So it can charge in the scooter. So there's an in, and I can show you here. There's also an input here, so you can pop that up and plug it in just in a normal wall case, right? So you can charge this externally outside of the scooter.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, then, how does it? I think you might have a team working with you. How did them start getting to work each other amid this quarantine situation, COVID situation? Everything got to work, everyone got to work to their own homes. How does affect your daily basis?
Yep. So we're Freely's pretty proud to keep it lean and mean. So we really have a small team, and the real purpose of that is to couple things is to consolidate brains and really think about where we're heading next. But it's also to keep costs down and keep our Freely Pro scooter at 399 bucks, right? And I think if you look
Yeah,
closely, you'll see some scooters that are about $100, sometimes $200 more, that are very similar to this one. But yeah, we have a small team. I would like to kind of shine the light on our senior project manager. His name is Sean Stanton. So him and I work together almost on a daily basis he lives in Chicago.
oh, great.
Um, so he really handles a lot of the social media, a lot of the customer support, and it's really created those processes, right? We know that selling a scooter is one thing, but support is another thing. So Freely wants to be able to
Yeah,
offer
of course.
a great scooter, and then also a post sales experience where they can contact us and spend some time if they need.
Perfect. So, what do you think about sharing scooters?
Yeah, that's a good. In
To
what
to
sense?
uh
Yeah.
to the founder of a scooter brand uh, that sells scooters individually, I think there is a little of fight I might say, between these sharing scooters, because people go to the street, see one, scan the code, and they already are riding. But to the brand itself, they want more. They want the scooter in the house. They want the scooter to be part of their life. So what do you think of the brands of sharing scooters?
Yeah. I think the sharing scooters brands are part of the overall ecosystem. I mentioned in the beginning of this that they were the tsunami that came through, right? And really
Yeah,
opened up everyone's eyes to say, oh wow, electric scooters, these may be around for a while. I really think the future of them is working directly with the cities, agencies, like public transit agencies and municipalities. Um, Working with them to say, where would you like us to place these scooters? And the cities are going to respond back and say, we want to provide equal transit access for folks that maybe live outside the city, or we want your scooters here so riders can take them into our public transit buses and other vehicles, right? So I think they're going to move, if I were to bet, they'll move from scooters on the streets to moving them very strategically based off the city's needs. And I also think that the cities are going to pay the rental scooters to say, hey, we want to pay you a good amount of money to provide service here.
like an investment.
Like an investment to say for, an annual contract, we want to,
Yeah,
yeah, we want to pay you to help move our people around better. Um, And then to answer the second part of the question, I think once people use those, they may think to themselves, "Hey, maybe I want one of these for my own." Um, the rental scooters, if you do the math, it does make sense if you ride them a couple times a week to just buy your own, right? And I think that's where Freely is really cutting its teeth and offering an economical price um, to give entryway to folks who are thinking about it.
great answer.
Yeah.
So as we are talking to this, as we talked recently about public transportation amid the pandemic and everything else, do you see a specific future for micromobility? Do you see something new? Do you see more involvement from the countries, or more investment on bigger brands like, I don't know, Mercedes, or brands of cars that they want to get involved in this particular thing called micromobility?
Yeah, I do. That there's a lot to unpack in that question. There is significant interests from the car OEMs, the sort of the manufacturers of vehicles. If you look closely, a lot of the car companies are either investors or they own a scooter rideshare company. They're not really interested in the retail side, which is what Freely does. Um, but if I were to go on a limb, I think they're trying to triangulate three things: micromobility, public transportation, which is subsidized by the federal government, and the third thing would be autonomous vehicles. So they're really
Right.
thinking about ways to triangulate those things. And ultimately, if you can get that right, I think you can relieve congestion in certain major cities, let's say New York, Chicago, LA, and secondary cities like Houston, where we're at, Miami, San Diego, Seattle. Um, and I think eventually those cities are even going to legislate to say you can't take your personal car into this area. So what are people going to do? They'd have to park in a parking lot a couple miles out. And let's say in this case, take a scooter into public transportation and then get to work, to shop, to be in that
Right.
downtown area.
Yeah. So it is going to be more easier to people, and it also helps the environment. So I think I beg this probably future it's very near, so the environment doesn't suffer anymore. So now I want to speak about something that is in the blog of ridefreely.com. If anyone wants to see it, we will leave the link in the IGTV video of this live stream, and it is about customer experience. So how does the people that bought a Freely Pro
Yep.
answer back you guys, how they I I don't know how to say it, but how they receive the Freely Pro, how they ride, how they use it for the daily basis. So do you have those answers back from the consumers?
Yeah, we do. So, you know, customers are going to buy a Freely Pro e-scooter. They usually get it in the mail about 2 to 3 days. We ship on all the major carriers. Um, it's very easy to put together, and we are very easy to get hold of. So we have a pretty robust customer service pipeline, right? To where we get notifications when people get the scooter. So we're always asking those questions. Hey, we saw your scooter arrive. Do you have any questions on the basic assembly? A lot of times it's not, but I do think it's meaningful to reach out and to ask. Couple days go by, we are very interested in how the experience is going for them. So we ask those same questions. Hey, what are you using it for? How are you taking
Right.
advantage of it? And we're hearing a wide array of answers. So we hear your typical taking it to public transit, so taking it to the train stop. Um, I think what we see a lot of is suburban areas. So maybe not in the main city, but on the outside saying, actually, we got this for fun, or I take it to the gym. Now that I'm working from home, I like to get out on something and take a spin around the neighborhood. Um,
Of course.
we've also seen a good number of sales come from parents who have children that do not have their driver's license,
Oh, okay.
and they say, I'm kind of tired of taking my kid back and forth to their sports practice or their music lessons. And so they buy this for their kid to be able to go back and forth, which is really great.
Awesome.
So we're hearing some really great feedback. Right now, we don't have to do a lot of paid marketing because what we're seeing is people who buy the scooter are sharing it with their friends, and it's true word of mouth. So we really appreciate that, and we hope that our customer service is allowing some of that to happen.
Perfect. Where do you offer the Freely Pro someone else besides the website you have? And because I'm seeing the website here that it has a little part that says become a dealer. So
Hmm.
you can sell the product anytime everyone else in other places. How does this work?
Yep. So we're working on multiple agreements with vendors or resellers across the country. Um, if somebody is interested in selling, our minimum is at least an order of five. So it's a pretty low threshold. So we negotiate a deal for five scooters or more, and they're able to buy them and then resell them. Perhaps they have a shop or they sell them one to one. I mean, we're offering it to folks who do have a stand-up brick and mortar store, that
Hmm.
want to sell our scooter, but we're all, there's also some real entrepreneurs out there to say, hey, listen, we want to buy the Freely, sell it one to one in our communities, and they're able to make some money off of that as well. So, um, in terms of Freely, we're primarily an online or an e-commerce store.
Perfect. Perfect. That is very, very great. So then, do you think I want to get back to the part of something else coming in the future? Do you think some accessories will be available other than the swappable, than the removable battery? Do you think that you can offer a certain an amount of accessories to, like a helmet, for example, or I don't know, a cell phone holder? Do you think that is possible in the near future?
Yep. So one of the first things that we're standing up right now is a parts section. Um,
Okay.
some of our customers have, let's say, gotten an accident, or something has happened outside of the manufacturing part of the scooter. And it's important for us, even though, let's say, it's not our company's sort of responsibility. I think it's our responsibility to offer an answer for them. So we're working on that first as a vertical. Um, Next, we are considering accessories. There's a laundry list from, um,
Yeah, of course.
we're getting feedback to say, do you sell vests for the nighttime, like reflector
Yeah,
vests,
reflective.
helmets?
Yeah.
A lot of our customers ask for LED lights underneath their scooter, again, for
Oh,
nighttime
okay.
riding. Right now, what we do is we say, great question, we take a note of that, but we're pointing them in a different direction, maybe to another scooter company, or even, Amazon, or some of these
Right.
other websites. But that, if I were to say, future is going to certainly be parts. It'll be accessories that are important to a rider, cell phone holder, like you mentioned. Um, and then following that is going to be some additional freely, hardware that we're starting to get pretty excited about.
Oh, great. Do you have a mobile app application?
Yep. So we don't have a mobile app. I mentioned in the beginning thinking about digitizing, right? Or thinking about how can software play a part with Freely. Um, Again, in order to keep our price at its certain level, we're moving pretty slowly with that. We're really waiting for our customers or the market to say, hey, we want to buy your scooter. However, it needs to have an app. Um, we haven't heard that yet. It hasn't really like got us good quite yet, but it is something on the horizon. If I were to put up our whiteboard as we think about the future, it's up there in a little corner to think about. Um, yeah, how can we have an app to lock it, for
Yeah,
people to check? And I think, this may be of interest to you and the viewers, is diagnostics, right? So
of
being able
course.
to open up your app and say, how's my battery doing, right? Um, this
How can I
sounds kind of,
keep how can I keep more battery for a few hours later or something
yep,
like that?
yep. So I think people are starting to think about that. My great hope is that e-scooters become so popular that the software cost goes down, and we're able to offer, when folks when they unbox, our scooters, they also download an app, and there's a really great experience there between, hey, I have this piece of hardware, right? I have my scooter, but I can also interact with my phone, which is a very important piece of our daily lives.
Right, right. That is great. So then you think that you can expand the business from to Europe, to Asia, to Latin America? Do you think that is possible in the near future? Do you think that is going to be soon?
Yeah. Um, Absolutely. Back to our core values of diversity. I think when you think diversity, you think gender and you think ethnicity, but
Yeah,
certainly abroad and country, and spending time in promoting and marketing a really great scooter across the globe. Um, what we're working on is, right now in the US and Canada, for 399 period, right? There's no additional costs, there's no shipping costs, 399, it gets to your door. That's our big play right now. Um, we are considering what it is that we could do to offer that same price internationally. The expensive part about these units is shipping them, getting them from us to the customer. So we are thinking pretty creatively about how we could do that and maintain this an economical price for customers,
of
right? So we
course.
could attract all the right people. If we charge $600-700 for a scooter, we might be leaving out that, single mom who needs a way to get back and forth to her work, right? Or a student who doesn't have a lot of money, but still needs a mode of transportation. So we still want to make sure we're capturing all of those people.
Of course, because if you do the math between public transportation for 3, 4, 5 months, you already are paying a brand new scooter, and then
That's
you
right.
you have it for life. So I'm seeing here in the part of add to cart the Freely Pro that
Mm-hmm.
is a for interest-free payments. That is great.
Yeah. So we've
How,
formed a. Mhm.
how does it work?
Yep. So we formed a partnership with a group called Klarna. So they're based out of the Norwegian region, um, and up in Scandinavia, right? They're a really great company. The cost ends up being on Freely, but basically how it works is for the customer, they can buy a brand new scooter, chop the 399 up into four payments, interest free, right? And so
Great.
as long as they pay it on time, they're not going to be charged anything. Freely absorbs the cost of that partnership. So again, going back to offering to a diverse community, we understand that a scooter. I'll give you an example. Um, I shipped recently to somebody, and the address was a little odd. I couldn't find it in our back end, so I had to call the customer. And she said, "Hey, listen, sorry, I live in a hotel,
Oh,
right? And I'm homeless, right? I live in a hotel, and I need this to start looking for jobs." And so that was a big key indicator to say, I bet $399 is a lot of money to this person. Um,
yeah.
I, I, I wonder if she is banked, in other words, has a credit card or at least a debit card. This person would probably really take advantage of a payment plan. It would make her life a little easier. So, after that and thinking about it, we partnered with Klarna to be able to offer a payment plan for customers.
Yeah, that's great. So, well, we are kind of ending this Instagram live stream. Is there something else you want to say to the viewers? This video is going to be in our Instagram TV, so people who couldn't catch us at this right time, they can see it later. So do you have anything else to say? Do you want to share something with us?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. I'll,
Oh,
I'll, s- I'll say this, that we're really easy to get a hold of. We love messages, direct messages, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the whole thing, right? But also, if you go to our website, there's a chat box that you can get a hold of us like that. So we kind of work around the clock and trade time in order to be available. We have a team that helps out with that. Don't worry, they're not robots. Um, be,
perfect.
Beyond that, what I'll say is Freely truly is, and I'll look in the camera and say this, we are really trying to sell a very, very affordable and high quality scooter for people to ride because we do think it'll change their life. At very minimum, it's very fun, right? It's a lot of fun to ride these things around. I think I was talking with somebody recently and they said it's the e-bike or the e-scooter grin. When you ride one, you kind of get this smile on your face,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's what we're in the
Enjoying the
business.
view and having a great time.
Yeah, and everyone's looking at you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, like we're really dedicated to this business. We really enjoy it, and we see a big future in it. And we take care of every single customer, right, that comes through the door, virtually, right, through our e-commerce store. Um, so yeah, if you go to ridefreely.com, check us out. There's a lot of information about the scooter. Don't hesitate to message us on any of the platforms. Um, and again, at $399, if you look really closely at the specs and then go out and shop, you'll probably see that we're about $100 cheaper than a lot of the other scooter companies out there with the same specs. So Yeah, I hope that was a good pitch. Thanks for giving me some that time there.
That was great, and thanks for the time and to talk with us. I hope this is the first talk of many in the future, and we will keep seeing you guys on Instagram and Facebook. Do you want to mention all your social media accounts so the people who are watching can follow you?
Yep. So it's consistent across all platforms. It's at Freely Electric. At Freely Electric.
Perfect.
So Instagram, Facebook, pretty much all of the platforms. You can find us there.
And the website is ridefreely.com.
Ridefreely.com. Yep.
Just like that, and you will get your Freely Pro in 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days, especially if you live in the if you live in the U.S. and in Canada. Yeah, and
Does
it's
it
really
get
great.
here to? Does it the Freely Pro get here to Argentina, or that is a little difficult?
It's a little longer for international. Yeah, it gets held up, but yeah, again, we're trying to think creatively on how we can do that. I mean, it can get there in a couple days, right? But it's more expensive.
Yeah,
So we're trying to think creatively and work on the numbers to where we can say, look, if you buy it for this amount, your expectations can be set high. You're going to get it in this amount of time, and it's going to be at a reasonable cost. So more to come there.
perfect, perfect. Okay, Adam, thanks for your time. Thanks to everyone who watched the live stream, and see you guys in the next one.